Good evening, my friends. Matt here, and welcome to this brand new episode of my fragrance obsession. As you can see right in front of me, I have a very classic men's fragrance. This is a fragrance which has revolutionized all fragrances through time. And this is a rather special review, or a special review, because I've noticed a lot of reviewers on YouTube and a lot of people in the YouTube community and also online on Base Notes, Fragrantica, and other fragrance directories. A lot of people seem to really enjoy this fragrance. And I was out today, I went to the Metro Center, as you guys saw at the beginning of this video, going through the mall and stuff. It was a nice day out, but I wanted to have a look at this fragrance. Obviously I'd smelt it before, but I'd never actually sprayed it on my skin properly. It was only on a card, and it was ever so long ago, so I kind of did forget how it smelled. But I went into the store, and my mother and my grandma were with me, my nana, who you guys have seen in a few of my videos before. They noticed that I was smelling this fragrance, and they decided to treat me. So they paid half for this fragrance for me on the Guerlain counter, or no, Ceylan. A lot of people pronounce it differently. It is known as Ceylan. So a lot of people really like this fragrance. So when getting this fragrance was a real treat for me, and I just want to say a big thank you to my mother and my nana for really doing that. I feel very lucky, because this is a very elegant scent. This is something which I've never owned before, obviously, and I've never owned a fragrance this elegant, I don't think. I mean, I've got some really nice, elegant fragrances in my collection, but I've never owned a fragrance as high quality, as amazing as this. This is, as you guys can see already in the name of this video, this is a fragrance called Habit Rouge. And Habit Rouge actually means red jacket in French, which is pretty interesting. This fragrance was launched by Guerlain in 1965, so it has been out for a pretty long time. It's really stood the test of time. But what's really amazing is the fact that this fragrance is still pretty modern in today's generation. A lot of men, a lot of guys my age, I know a lot of my friends actually wear this fragrance, and they really like it. So it's definitely still a modern fragrance for an oldie, but I will talk a little bit more when we talk about the smell. But this fragrance just comes from such a historic house. I mean, Guerlain are actually one of the oldest perfume houses in the world. And this is just an amazing fragrance. It was actually designed, the fragrance was made by Jean-Paul Guerlain, who is one of the founders of the company. So it really has stood the test of time. It's such an old fragrance, but it really is an amazing one. So we're going to get into this. So this was a gift. I'm still absolutely overwhelmed to have this in my collection. I never thought I would have it, because I know a lot of you have actually... excuse me, sorry about that. I know a lot of you have actually requested me to review this fragrance, but I've just never owned it up until now, but I'm just so happy to have it. So let's talk about it. Let's get into this first. So this is a 50ml bottle. This is what the bottle looks like. This is a really nice bottle. It's really classy. A lot of detail put on here. We get this rather nice sticker in the middle here. Habit Rouge, Eau de Toilette, Guerlain. So guys, yeah, as you can see, this is for the EDT, not the EDP. But I've heard good things about this. So yeah, this is... what else have we got? We've got the cap. We have this nice fancy logo on the top here. I'm guessing it's something to do with Guerlain. But it's really, really nice to look at. It's embossed really nicely. We get a nice atomizer right there. And the juice is kind of like a classic sort of yellowy color. Yeah, really like this. So let's get on to the smell. This is actually a really beautiful bottle. I really like it. It's got on here 50ml, 1.6 fluid ounce. Guerlain, and it's got a address on there, made in France, and it's also got the batch number, or serial number as it's called. Okay, now let's get into this. This is Habit Rouge by Guerlain. Such a beautiful spray. Sprays so well. Here we go. Let's talk about it. Okay, so this fragrance smells absolutely beautiful. Like, that's probably the first thing that's going to come through your mind. It smells gorgeous, literally. Now, in terms of notes, what you're going to get in the top, you're going to get bergamot, lemon, rosewood, basil, and pimento. In the middle, sorry, I was going to say base. In the middle, we get sandalwood, or simply known as sandal, carnation, patchouli, cedar, rose, and cinnamon. And then the base, we get vanilla, amber, moss, leather, benzoin, labdanum, and olibanum. So this is a nice sort of oriental woody fragrance. Or a lot of people like to think of it as a spicy woody fragrance, but it's definitely an oriental woody. When I smell this straight away, I get this very bitter, but very sweet bergamot. But I'm also getting that lemon overtaking it. So the bergamot's there, but it's pretty much lemon that you get. And it's just a blast of it. Literally, it hits you straight in the face. It's, it kind of reminds me of a candy store. I get sort of a candy store vibe out of this, and it smells very old-fashioned, but indeed very sophisticated. So yeah, it's kind of like that big blast of bergamot and the lemon in the top. Literally, like, it just hits you straight in the face. But I'm also getting the basil. The basil seems to add a herbal sort of vibe with it, and it smells really good. Definitely a classic vibe out of this. It kind of reminds me of barbershop, so powdery, but very sweet and very bitter nevertheless. In terms of the heart notes, I do... You want to smell it? Okay.
Sorry, it smells good.
You like it?
Yeah.
Seriously?
No, really, I do.
You like it?
It's okay.
Yes! I didn't think you'd like this.
I mean,
wow, that's awesome.
Wait, let me smell it again. I might not like it now.
There we go.
No, I still like it.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's good.
Okay, so...
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I wanted to get your take on it, actually, so at least let the people at home know, you know? The people. So yeah, in the middle notes, we get the sandalwood. I guess the woody vibe is there, but I mean, literally, the first thing I'm smelling is that lemon. It's very strong, without a doubt. But we also get carnate. What on earth was that?
That was Alex. That is your cousin.
What's she screaming for?
She's saying goodbye.
Goodbye!
Yeah.
Where was I? So with the middle notes, we're getting that sandalwood. It's adding this sort of woody vibe. But I think the strongest note that I can detect out of all of the middle notes is the cinnamon. I don't know about you, but do you smell the cinnamon?
No.
You don't get cinnamon. I think it adds a sort of crispiness to it. It adds that warmth. It definitely adds a warmth to it. And I think it would be perfect for the winter, personally. Do you not think it would be perfect for, like, Christmas?
I don't know.
Because I was thinking of Christmas. The cinnamon smells to me like mulled wine. It's got like a mulled wine sort of smell to it, with a kind of Christmassy cinnamon to it. Really good. But in terms of the other notes, like the carnation, the patchouli, and also the cedar and the rose, I guess I do get a tiny bit of rose, maybe just with that cinnamon. Because the cinnamon is, no doubt, very, very detectable. But the rose adds this sort of comforting vibe. So we've got that sharp cinnamon, but the rose adds this nice charm to it, you know? And I really like that, if I'm honest. It really does add a nice tag onto the fragrance. Now let's talk about the base notes with the vanilla. Now, I had to go straight to the vanilla. As you guys know, I love vanilla. This vanilla in this fragrance is beautiful. And I've looked at a lot of reviews, and a lot of people have said that the vanilla in this fragrance is definitely first to none. I don't think it's probably the best vanilla I've ever smelled, personally, but I think it just gradually mixes well with all of the other notes. The type of vanilla I like, I don't like the kind of the cakes, icing, or, you know, you know, that type of vanilla. Very sickly. I like the sort of wood-based vanilla, so kind of smoky, kind of incensed influenced vanilla, you know, that type of vanilla. But that's definitely what I'm into. This one is like that. It's very much, it's got a kind of a smokiness, a kind of creaminess to it in the dry down. In terms of the other notes, we're also getting the amber, the moss, and the leather. I do think that this fragrance opens up with the base. Sorry, it does really dry down to this really nice amber, and the amber obviously adds the sweetness, and it just blends with the vanilla really, really nicely. And what it's also mentioned that this fragrance is meant to invoke a lot of the leather. I do get that leather, if I'm honest. It does remind me of a sort of leather jacket sort of smell. So I guess Habit Rouge, which means red jacket in French, it kind of makes sense. With that, you know, with the leather note really giving it that sort of feel. I really like that, if I'm honest. But in terms of the other notes, the benzoin, the labdanum, and the olibanum, benzoin's definitely detectable. In terms of the labdanum and olibanum, no, definitely not. The benzoin adds this sort of waxy take to the vanilla and the amber. So we've got the amber adding that sweetness. We've got the vanilla adding this sort of creaminess and slight sweetness, but mostly sweetness. And also a little bit of a kind of smokiness as well. The benzoin really adds this sort of, what's the word? Like kind of like a syrupy, waxy sort of vibe. Kind of like a candle. Like when a candle starts to dry down and it sort of blows out, and you get that sort of smoke, but you're also getting the wax smell. It's a little bit like that. I just think that this fragrance is really, really nice. I mean, I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. I mean, this is not what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a yellow tie, but I am wearing the waistcoat and everything underneath. And I was actually planning on wearing this fragrance. Let me know if you guys would think that's a good idea. I'm only wearing the red tie, obviously, because, you know, red box, rouge, you know, makes sense, right? But let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this fragrance would be good for a wedding. I mean, personally, I think it is, but I want to hear what you guys think. And let me know out of other fragrance. I mean, I do have other fragrances that I would like to personally wear, but I will post them below this video. There'll be like 4 or 5 fragrances, including Habit Rouge. But let me know, please, on what you guys would personally choose. And I'm just going to come out and say it. I wouldn't mind a bit of help, if I'm honest. So, yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this very exciting review. I'm just really happy to have this fragrance. Again, I want to thank my mother and my nana for, you know, really treating me to this fragrance. And it's a fragrance that I've always wanted. And I think it's a fragrance that every single collector in the world needs to at least have, because it's just absolutely wonderful. I'm in love with it. And it's, I mean, Morgan likes it. I mean, she doesn't like a lot of fragrances, so... And I've always said that I at least want to find a fragrance that she likes, and I never thought it would be this one. Classic. This is a gentleman's scent. It's very classy, elegant. Definitely that. So, yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of My Fragrance Obsession. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think of Habit Rouge by Guerlain in the comments below, and I will definitely get back to you when I can, because I'm going to be very busy tonight with sorting out all my wedding clothes, but I will definitely respond to you when I can. So guys, thank you so much for watching. It really does mean a lot. Keep smelling good, have a wonderful evening, and bye bye for now. And if you, there we go, that'll do. So you've shown your foot, that automatically means goodbye in the language of Morgan's foot. So thank you guys for watching. That took a while. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now. No, Oliban? No.